All right, thank you very much. Hello, everybody. It's your good friend Pozzible here, and I'm back in action with a look at some more independent movies that have been made recently. These movies have come to me via the Film Bar in Phoenix, Arizona, a nice little theater that showcases the independent shorts and feature films that regular theaters normally pass by, which is a shame because some of these can be really good. So let's take a look at some of them right now. First up, recently a lot of people, and by a lot of people I mean me, have been discussing on whether or not this is a rom-com. I wouldn't say it is, but it is. Anyway, the point I'm trying to make here is that Sweetheart, starring Cody Lopke and Lolita, is a very good film about a guy who, at the end of his date with a lady friend, goes to his car, getting ready to go to bed, and then his ex-girlfriend shows up. The events that ensue are really compelling because there's just so much going on, and the interaction between the two stars, between Lolita and Cody Lopke, is just really spot on. I really enjoy this, where you have a guy who's kind of going through a I can't believe I'm going through this again kind of feelings, where his ex-girlfriend, brandishing a gun, is really a woman on the edge. There's this part of her that really just wants to pull the trigger and punish this guy. There's the part of her that wants to love him again. And what really makes this work is Lolita's identifying with the character, her shakiness, and her, it's hard to describe, I guess, is what I'm getting around to. It's just this, fatal attraction girl going on. That's really making this show work. It's down as a short and a horror. I found that it had comedic elements, and the comedic elements I don't think were intentional, but they came out just because there was a nervous tension in this movie that was very enjoyable. And it was just, you enjoy the characters. So Sweetheart was definitely a winner when it came to these three shorts, these shows. The next one, also a winner, Fathers by Jamie Riviera. This one had more of a supple build-up, very old-fashioned horror where, it basically a gentleman shows up to talk about his problems with his psychologist. And this is the first time meeting, and you know how those first time meetings can be kind of awkward. You kind of get the professionalism at first from the psychologist saying, okay, let's go through the motions of interviewing this guy, and hopefully he'll open up to me, and we'll see how far we can go in the first session. Well, the first session turns out to be all there ever needs to be, as the guy talks about his problem that he has with this dream. It's a dream that he's had since he was a little boy about being murdered by this child. By this other child, I should say. And it's a dream, a nightmare that's followed him all his life. I don't want to say much more than that because it might give away too much information, but all I can say is this. The build-up to its conclusion with the twists and the information and the knowledge really is compelling and really comes together in an incredible way. Again, it goes back to what I said about Sweetheart. It's amazing how these independent filmmakers can do so much with so little. The fact that for the most part you have these two guys with a little bit of flashbacks here or there talking in a room. And, at first you kind of get, okay, you get to the flow, but once it starts to find its footing, and once it gets into its rhythm, you get into the rhythm with it, and it really gets you. So, Fathers, very worthy short, very awesome film. Next up, Encounters. Now, this was the feature film of the night, so it was going to be a lot longer. It had some great acting, had some great special effects. For an independent film, these guys really went all out with the special effects. The actors, though, even without the special effect, the actors dedicated. But there were some problems with the encounter. I mean, basically, you got your standard alien invasion kind of film. But what happens is, it's found footage. And if you guys know me, you know my grievances with found footage. Well, the encounter is actually found footage where we're not following one story, we're following three stories, and we're getting a sense of what is happening. You've got a cute little forest ranger who we really enjoyed and added a little of a comedic twist with a tragic ending. You got the rednecks, two guys who are going to go out hunting just for a regular night of hunting, and they wanted to film their adventure. Well, one of them did. The other did not want to film it because he just wanted to hunt good old-fashioned style, man style. And that was a good part about it too. And then you had the couples, two sets of boyfriend-girlfriend here, both heading off into the camping just for a weekend of relaxation, you know, and of course other stuff because they are both boyfriend-girlfriend. The problem really that would happen with Encounter, and this wasn't just a problem with found footages, you know, the norm, shaky cam, the horror and action is happening on the left, so we're going to point our camera to the right, that situation. The running, of course. You're not going to see anybody running, but you know they're running because they have the camera. And as they run into the woods, you're running through the woods with them. That camera angle made it hard to identify with these people sometimes because we weren't looking at them anymore. We were watching the trees and the grass. And I thought that was kind of funny because the guy stops at one point. You don't think, you get the impression he was standing up, but at the same token, the camera was in the grass on the bottom. Found footage is a genre whose time has passed for a long time. And I was really hoping that the special effects and the acting and the dialogue could overshadow this genre, but unfortunately it could not. I have to be honest. The found footage really was a big subtraction from this movie. A real shame too, because it had so much going for it. And at the end, it was the found footage that just kind of took away from what was there. All right, guys, that's it for me for today. We will see you later at the theaters. There was something else I was going to say, but I